Hi everyone, this is 3.1 and this is a topic on production possibilities. So far we learned about opportunity cost, scarcity, choice and trade-offs. In this chapter we'll learn how economists use graphs to explain these concepts of trade-off and opportunity cost. Although our production capability is enormous, it is limited by our available resources and by technology. At any given time, we have fixed quantities of the factors of production and a fixed state of technology. Because our wants exceed our resources, we make rational choices in using our scarce resources. Economists often use graphs to analyze the choices and trade offs that people make. An economic model called production possibility frontier is built for the understanding of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Production possibility frontier. The production possibilities frontier is the boundary between the combinations of goods and services that can be produced and the combination that cannot be produced given the available factors of production and the state of technology. A production possibility curve or graph shows the alternative ways to use an economy's production possibility curve. The table and the graph shows the production possibility frontier for cell phones and DVDs. Point A tells us that if the economy produces no cell phones, the maximum quantity of DVDs it can produce is 15 million a year. Possibility F uses all the resources to produce 5 million cell phones a year and no resources allocated to producing DVDs. Each point on the graph labeled A through F represents the possibility in the table identified by the same letter. The line passing through these points is the production possibility frontier. Three features of production possibility curve are attainable and unattainable combinations, efficient and inefficient production, trade-offs and free lunches. The first thing that PPF represents is it shows the limits to production. Any point inside the PPF or orange area or at any point on the frontier is attainable. It means the economy can produce. Any point outside the frontier such as point G is unattainable. It means economy cannot produce at that point with available resource and technology. Efficient and inefficient production. The PPF represents the economy working at its most efficient level of production. Efficiency means using resources in such a way as to maximize the production or output of goods and services. It means there must be full employment and all factors of production. Productive efficiency means that given the available inputs and technology, it's impossible to produce more of one good without decreasing the quantity of another good that's produced. It means there will be always a trade-off when we choose to produce one good over the other. All choices along the PPF in figure such as points A, B, C, D and E and F display productive efficiency. To move from point E to point D requires some cell phones to be given up for more DVDs. The economy faces a trade-off. With inefficient production inside the PPF, the economy might be producing 3 million cell phones and 5 million DVDs at point H. It means the economy can produce more of one good, the other good, or the combination of both goods. Any point inside the line indicates the underutilization of resources. Underutilization means using fewer resources than the economy is capable of using. When some farmers and factory workers are laid off, the farms and factories they worked would produce fewer goods. This trade-off is represented by point inside the PPF. The last points that are highlighted in this production positive frontier is the trade-offs and free lunches. Trade-off means an exchange giving up one thing to get something else. And free lunch, on the other hand, is a gift getting something without giving up something else. The PPF illustrates the idea of a trade-off. If the economy produces at point E and people want to produce more DVDs, they must forego some cell phones. In the move from point E to point D, people trade off cell phones for DVDs. Therefore, production is efficient as it involves trade-off. If production is inefficient at a point inside the PPF, like point H, there is free lunch. It means more of some good can be produced without producing less of any other. That is moving from point H to point D. Because economists view people as making rational choices and every choice involves a trade-off, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Therefore, they expect that resource will be used efficiently. Therefore, they emphasize the trade-off idea and deny the existence of free lunches. Thanks for watching. The main points of this chapter are: the production positive frontier, or PPF, is the boundary between the combination of goods and services that can be produced and those that cannot be produced given the available factors of production and technology. Production points outside the PPF are unattainable. Points on and inside the PPF is attainable. Production is efficient when it is not possible to produce more of one good without producing less of another good, and there is full employment of factors of production. Points on the PPF are efficient. Production is inefficient when resources are misallocated or unemployed. Such points are inside the PPF. Moving along the PPF, producing more of one good, less of another good is produced, that is, trade-off occurs. That is an exchange, giving up something to get something else. Moving from inside the PPF to a point on the PPF, more of some goods and services can be produced without producing less of others. A free lunch.